Welcome back to Basics and Beyond. Today we're going to talk about triggering events, why results can seem so hard to trace. Advertising truth number 3, got to know this, people respond to needs, not to ads. Nobody will ever go into a store and say, I'm here because your advertising is so compelling. I was powerless not to come to your store. It just doesn't happen that way. Last lesson, you looked at the bullseye theory concept. And you saw that people go to Never Never Land, but then people come into the bullseye when something happens. And that's what we call the triggering event. They discover a need. Something has happened to make them need what it is you're selling. It could be just, I'm hungry. Ever have this conversation around noon? I'm hungry. Me too. Let's go to lunch. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? So you're hungry. That's the need. You start evaluating your options. I don't care where we go. You pick. No, I picked yesterday. Let's go to Pizza Hut. I'm doing low carb. I can't go to Pizza Hut. Yes, you can, because I have a salad bar. Have the salad bar and I'll get the pizza buffet. But I've got a meeting. So now I'm trying to resolve doubts. I've got a meeting at 1:15. That's okay. It's a buffet, Chris. You'll get back in time. And then I go buy lunch. Now, that may take 3 minutes in a conversation with a coworker or a spouse, but if you're buying a car, it could take 4 or 5 weeks. If you're buying a new home, it could take 6 months to a year. But in all cases, you discover a need, you evaluate options, you resolve doubts, and you buy. I used to call on Octopus Car Wash. Jeff Jerkins was the manager, the son of the owner, and ran the Madison operation. And he said to me, I did a survey and nobody mentioned your radio stations. I said, well, tell me about the survey. He said, I asked the first 100 people who came into our Park Street car wash location, why'd they come to the car wash today? And nobody mentioned WISM, AM, and FM. I said, let me guess. They said their car was dirty. He said, how'd you know? I said, yep. So 96% said the car was dirty. 4% said my car is kind of dirty and I needed gas, so I thought I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I said, Jeff, you asked the wrong question. He said, what's the right question? I said, why'd you come to Octopus when your car got dirty instead of washing your car at home or going to 22 other car washes in Madison, Wisconsin? Oh, that's the wrong question. But I had to tell him that because people respond to needs, not to ads. Nobody's going to tell you they're here because of the commercial. They're going to tell you they're here because of the need, the triggering event, the dirty car. So keep that in mind. All right, the big question, what's already happened in your prospect's life that may have created a need for your product or service? And that's what you need to ask your advertisers. When people come to your store or call you on the phone, what's going on in their life? And maybe we can use that in some of the copy. All right. I want to tell you a story about discovering a need, evaluating options, resolving doubts, and buying. And it's interesting to me because advertising truth number 4, immunity to advertising is one of humankind's most comforting self-delusions. Well, I'm not affected by advertising. I make up my own mind. Advertising can't manipulate me. Well, if you just notice how you buy stuff, you'll find out that advertising really does work and you'll start believing in it more. So here's my story. My parents came to visit. It was one of the last times they came to Madison, Wisconsin to visit Sarah and me. And I went out in the driveway. My dad was getting out of the car. I hugged my dad. His glasses were at the top of his head. And his neck went back and the glasses shattered on the driveway. He said, what'd you do that for? I said, Dad, I'm sorry. I love you, man. He said, those are trifocals. I can't read without them. I can't hardly eat without them. I can't watch TV. I said, do you have another pair? He said, yeah, 550 miles back in Newark, Ohio. Now, that's my childhood home. And I got this off the internet today to do this little story. And I noticed my first Christmas tree is taller than the house and taller than some of the trees out there. So that's kind of frightening. I said, okay. I started searching my mind. We got to get my dad some glasses. What are my choices? What are my options? I've evaluated my options. Only 2 options that I could see. Now, they absolutely have to be there overnight. We can get my brother to go to the house because my brother lives 30 miles from the house, and we could FedEx them because their slogan was, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight. So now I said, but Dad, if you need new glasses in about an hour, we could go to LensCrafters at the Westtown Mall and get new ones. And this is what worries me about aging. He said, that sounds like fun. I've heard about those places, but we don't have one in Newark. And so we went to the mall and got the glasses. And as we were checking out, I said, Dad, let me pay. He said, I'll pay. I said, I broke your glasses, let me buy. He said, I'll buy, I got money. I said, okay. And they said, Mr. Little. And he said, it's Lytle. I said, do they call you Mr. Little too? They call me that sometimes. How did you hear about LensCrafters? And he said, word of mouth. My son told me about you when he broke my glasses. Now, they never would have had word of mouth if they hadn't had great advertising, because what was stuck in my mind was new glasses in about an hour. And when I broke my dad's glasses, I had two choices. Get the other pair shipped here overnight, FedEx, or go to LensCrafters at the mall and get new glasses in about an hour. So that's advertising working. That's how it works. That's when it works. And that's why it works. It works when you have a need and you search your mind to try to figure out, how am I going to solve this problem? And we always want people to search their mind first before they search the internet. More about that in another lesson.